Hello. Today I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that I saw around and I combined them. The poinsettia made from the French foliage set and then this background effect with the embossing folders. So I'm going to set this aside and show you how I got those two effects. To start off with, I used the French foliage set, which I was so excited because it was a great fall set. I loved the cards I was able to make with this. And then when I could use it for the poinsettia and extend it into the Christmas season, I thought that was even double value. So these are the two images that I used from the set. Set that aside. I first of all stamped the smaller leaf image in Riding Hood red ink onto the Riding Hood red cardstock. And then after I stamped 12 of them, I cut them out. And so just to jump ahead, this is what I ended up with. I had 12 individual petals or leaves. Okay, and then to continue this, I punched out a 1 3/4 inch circle with the circle punch. Then I took my leaves, and just to add a little bit of dimension to them, I took the end of a paintbrush or like this alligator clip and kind of gave them a little bend. Then I'm going to put a mini glue dot on the back and finish out. There are 7 petals on the bottom row, and let's see, we'll stick that and finish that one up. Then to get the next row, I used 5 more and put a little bend in them just like I did the first row, and then set them in between to get the next row, and I used 5 for this row. After I got the Riding Hood red petals on and got my poinsettia built, and then I did also, you'll notice in my sample, do a couple of green leaves on the bottom. Okay, then after I finished up that, I set it down in a box and I took the vanilla smooch spritz, and you want to just mix it together by turning it back and forth like that. And then I took this and just gave it a quick little spritz. There we go. Making sure I have that in the right... Oh, there we go. Oh, we got a little glop, but that's okay. It'll just add. So then I set that aside to dry. Okay, so now we're going to finish this up. This is one that I made earlier. It's dried. It has the green petals, the 2 rows, and then I added some of the pearl basic jewels in the center for the center of the flower. So that's how I did the poinsettia. And it's just all tucked on to the 1 3/4 inch circle. The next step was for the background. And for the background, you need the vintage wallpaper embossing folder for the Big Shot. And I'm going to open up my crumb cake ink, and I took a brayer, inked up my brayer, and after I inked up the brayer, I just rolled the ink around onto the underside of the top. I'm going to get plenty of ink on this, so I'm going to get it this way and that way. And you'll notice that I'm just getting the raised area. So the area that's set in is not going to get any ink on it. Okay, so the next step is to grab my Big Shot, take a piece of very vanilla cardstock, set that right inside my folder, and I have it open to tab 1. You see that? It's open to tab 1. And then I have an acrylic plate and another acrylic plate. And then I will roll this through the Big Shot. And there we go. Okay. Okay, and then after I roll that through, I can take out let me set this aside. And then I could take out my folder. And when I do that, there you have your background. Doesn't that give it a great effect? I just think that's awesome. I love the very vanilla and the crumb cake combination. It gives it a real vintage feel. And then I would mount this onto a piece of crumb cake cardstock for a mat. Okay, now the next step I've gone ahead and started. And what I did is I took a piece of vanilla cardstock, run through the Big Shot and put it onto a crumb cake mat. Then I took 2 pieces of sticky strip and put them next to each other. And you really do, I'm finding, need the 2 pieces. So now I can take off the covering to expose the sticky part. Again, add it. There we go. And then take off the other one. Then with my wide striped ribbon, I am going to just stick that right like that and put a couple little glue dots down. And I'll just get it started and tack that down on the other side. And then all I did was just press it down, just like this, onto the 2 pieces of sticky strip, and just kind of giving it a fold where I want the ruffles. Okay, so just put that down, and I'm pressing it. It's hard to see the 2 pieces of sticky strip that are on there, but I'm just pressing it down onto the sticky strip. Okay. Now I have done before, I have taken mini glue dots and just tucked them underneath if I wanted part of it to lay down a little bit better. Just trim off my extra. And now I'm going to take 2 more glue dots here and then just fold that over to the other side. Then the next step is to take some of my dimensionals, and I'll just put those down on the back side here. There we go. Peel off the cover, and then just figure out the way that I like that on there the best. There we go. I think we'll put it like that and just set it down over my ruffled ribbon. So that's it. That's how I did that part, and then I mounted it onto a piece of Riding Hood red cardstock and finished it up with a sentiment down below. I hope you enjoyed seeing how to make this vintage card. If you have any questions, be sure to email me at Chris, CHRIS, @mystamplady.com, or visit my website, www.mystamplady.com. Thanks for watching.